Traveling the world can be difficult, especially if you have dietary restrictions. New languages, new cultures, new countries, it's just too much. This was our concern 3 years ago. But now, after visiting 15 countries, 40 cities, and 250 restaurants, we can confidently say that traveling is one of the most amazing experiences we have had. We have had the most incredible meals in the most remote parts around the world. In this video, we'll show you every single thing we have learned and hope that you get excited. As this might seem scary, but once you start, you just can't get enough of it.
There are more than 15 tips in this video, but to keep it simple, we've organized them into groups. We'll start with what you can do even before you know where you're going. The next level of research starts after you've decided where you're going. And finally, what can you do once you've reached your destination? We'll start at the very beginning. When we were planning our trip to Vietnam, a lot of people told us that we should not go there because nothing is vegan. So our next step was to check Happy Cow, a fantastic app to find vegan and vegetarian restaurants. And Happy Cow told us a completely different story. Just look at all these options in Hanoi. You'd need a month to cover all these places. I'm so glad we did not listen to those people, because Vietnamese food was truly magical and one of the most unique cuisines we've experienced. The next level of research starts after you've decided where you're going. How do you find great places to eat? Here are our top 5 ways. We've already shown you Happy Cow, and we use this app a lot. Most of the reviews are by vegans and vegetarians, so they are focused on dietary restrictions, and you can get a very clear idea of what to expect from a restaurant. We also use a map app like Google Maps to find and save restaurants near our hotel and the attractions we plan to visit. We also add our favorite restaurants from Happy Cow to the map, so we don't have to switch between apps. When it's not a vegan restaurant, we do a couple of things. If you head over to the reviews section, there are a bunch of tags on top. If you spot the vegan tag, then you can be sure that there are vegan options. And a pro tip, on a web browser, you can actually search through the reviews as well. We love watching YouTube videos that cover vegan food in different cities and cultures. Groundbreaking creators like Mrs. Yaya, Rated V, and Trade Days inspired us to travel. And all these other awesome creators are covering the scene in their own unique way. With videos, you get a really in-depth feeling of what to expect and where to go. You might already know this, but we've posted over 25 vegan travel guides on our YouTube channel. So you can check that out as well. We reply to comments, and you can also get in touch with us on Instagram if you need any help.
Reaching out to people inside and outside your network is another way to get some help and recommendations.
For our Paris trip, we followed Vegan Tourist Paris, an expert on the vegan scene there. And the beautiful detailed map he made really helped us navigate the massive vegan scene in Paris. For our recent trip to Singapore, we knew a lot of people who were living there. This family has been there for more than 17 years, so they were full of suggestions and insights which turned out to be really helpful. There are some other insights and strategies we use all the time. Here are a few of them. When we visited Kintamani in Bali, the hotel room came with a complimentary breakfast. So we got in touch with them to give them a heads up that we were vegan. The staff then got some tofu and tempeh from the local market to serve with the noodles and rice. The hotel always appreciates a heads up, and most hotels and B&Bs we have visited are always quite accommodating.
Learn about the local dishes that are naturally vegan or vegetarian. Many cultures have traditional dishes that are plant-based.
One such realization for us was the Jai sign in Thailand. It looks like a number 17, and it means that the product or food is both plant-based and allium-free. So it doesn't include onions and garlic either. Singapore and Malaysia have a local South Indian population. So we found super high quality options wherever we went. If you haven't tried out South Indian breakfast, do give it a shot. It could be life changing.
Before you leave, you can learn how to say, I am vegan, or that I don't eat meat, dairy, or eggs in the local language. A translation app can be your best friend in such times. In Vietnam and Turkey especially, the locals are very used to conversing using Google Translate.
For longer stays, we always book rooms with a kitchen. We love exploring local markets for fresh fruits and vegetables and cooking it in the comfort of our own kitchen. In grocery stores, we frequently use the camera feature on the translation app to scan for ingredients.
The key point to remember while traveling is that yes, we have made a lot of progress in terms of dietary options available while traveling, but we have not reached a stage where you can travel without doing any research.
Okay, so you finally arrived at your dream destination and you've totally done your research, right? If you couldn't do your research, stay calm. You can still head over to your map and hope for the best. We actually had to do this in Singapore. At the end of a brilliant but tiring walking tour, we typed vegan restaurant and the map took us to Clover Plant Based, just 900 meters away, and we enjoyed one of our best meals there. There are some other things you can do as well. If you're staying at a hotel or with a host, ask them for recommendations. If you're on a walking tour, you can ask the guide. They usually know the best spots. Packing snacks for your day out is always a good idea. Nuts, dried fruits, granola bars, chocolates, dry snacks like wafers are all great ideas. Sometimes you'll need to be creative. You might need to ask for a pizza without cheese or a garlic bread without butter. Stay relaxed, get creative, and politely ask the staff. It's amazing how often they will accommodate your request. A lot of omnivore menus have zero vegan options in the mains, but the sides have plenty of vegan options. The house salad, a simple stir fry, potatoes mashed or fried. These can all be very useful when there's nothing else.
What we have shown you so far is about planning and research, but the biggest challenge while traveling is in the mind. It is about accepting mistakes, staying calm, open, flexible, and managing expectations. If there is one message that we feel is truly important, it is this one. Mistakes will happen. It's happened to us and it's happened to every other traveler we have spoken to.
In Kashmir, we had ordered a burger without cheese, but it came with cheese. The waiter noticed and got it changed, but we knew that the food had to be wasted. And what we tried desperately to avoid happened. You feel bad in the moment, and there's an element of shame as well. But I would strongly urge you to accept the mistake and move on. The goal is not to be 100% perfect, because that's not possible. The goal is to have the right intentions and give it your best effort. Expecting to fall in love with a new cuisine with your first bite is not a good mindset to have. You should be optimistic, but it's important to know that it takes time to appreciate new things. It's very rare that it's love at first bite. So give new things time. Enjoy it the first time knowing that you will enjoy it much more the second and third time. We plan our own trips and we like to keep an open mind. This means that we plan our trip not day by day, but instead create a long list of places to visit and sites to see and restaurants to eat at. Because only when you reach the place do you really know what you want to do. Planning more than this makes us go into a fixed mindset where it's difficult to accept change. This is why we love making the final plan on the morning of the day. So you just need to quickly book your tickets if you have to and finalize which restaurant will be most convenient.
This was a comprehensive guide, but we hope we have not scared you. You absolutely do not need to follow each and every tip. The most important thing is to do a bit of research before you leave and then stay calm and flexible once you have reached your destination. So, if you are planning a trip to anywhere in the universe, it's time to get really excited.